Where is Gregory Usher? Firefighters say they have been unable to locate Usher, who lived along with at least one other person in the upper flat of a two-story concrete and wooden house that was gutted this morning sometime before 4 o'clock. By the time the blaze was extinguished, all had been lost, and only debris and scorched walls are left of what used to be Usher's house.
Upon arrival, the upper flat of a two-story structure was seen engulfed in flames. Following a preliminary size-up, the National Fire Service immediately went into operation extinguishing the fire. The fire was later brought under control and extinguished. As a result of the fire, the two-story structure was destroyed.
The lower flat of the building was occupied by 36-year-old Rayford Sanchez and his 35-year-old wife, Donnelly Burns. They, along with their high school daughter, were living at the house for less than a year. They lost all their belongings. The upper flat, however, was occupied by 3 persons, including Usher, an alleged drug user who relied on candles since the second floor was not electrified.
Preliminary investigation revealed that the structure had no electrical current up to the time of the fire. The area of origin is narrowed to the northwest section of the upper flat.
When I opened my back door, I noticed a glow in the back room of the upstairs part of the house where the fire started. And by the time I came outside, one of my neighbors was on the phone calling the fire department. I have to say that I must commend the ambulance that arrived very promptly. The police were next, quite a number of police. They came very punctually. The fire department actually took quite a while to come. And by the time it came, the house had already been engulfed. The fire spread so quickly.
Oh, sir, do you know if there were any occupants inside the house at the time of the fire?
I don't know if the owner of the house was at home. I know there's no electricity in the upstairs part of the house, and I guess they use candles because sometimes I can see them moving around and it looks like people walking around with candles. The downstairs was occupied by a family who moved here just under a year ago.
At the sound of crackling noises, residents living in proximity to the scene came outside their homes to find the structure already engulfed in flames. Leroy Green lives next door and says he was very concerned that the blaze would have spread to his house.
If there had been a wind blowing, it would have come across. But thankfully at that time of the morning, and this is one of the days when absolutely no wind was blowing, so actually if you had seen the fire, it was straight up instead of billowing all over the place. But it was very intense because you could feel the heat. And I know that, okay, if one spark could get on the top of my house or something, it could create havoc. But as I said, thankfully it didn't happen. And when the fire engines did arrive, they contained the fire to that one area. So it did not spread. If you notice, none of the houses around here got affected anyway.
The investigation continues into what started the fire. Dwayne Moody for News 5.